talking to you. Again, here I was going to talk to you about, I was basically putting an underpainting on, an analogous underpainting, because I'm going to be using yellow, a cool yellow, warm yellow, cad orange light, and eventually I'll be adding some alizarin crimson. And as I sometimes use mixtures of the orange with the yellow, I'm modifying a little bit the underpainting. Now, there are different ways of doing analogous colors. One is mixing the specific colors. Sometimes is glazing the colors. In this case, I'm doing a combination of mixing and glazing. The yellow undercolor kind of gives it a little bit of a glow, and you pick up a little bit of that quality, and that's what I'm working on in here. I'm refining the shapes a little bit. I noticed that I missed that little shape in the back there that I just put in. But I'm basically doing not the largest shapes, but the smaller shapes, and putting in some of the shadows, increasing some of the highlights, and that's what my process is involved with. I'm still not totally involved with the edges, because that to me is the details. I recognize that in watercolor, sometimes you have to be very careful with the edges, because once you move past an edge, that's it. You've lost that sharp edge. But with acrylic painting and oil painting, that's not necessarily the case, or with drawing with pastels. But I'm basically looking at putting in the large shapes in this, and yet you'll notice that in the large shapes, we're going to be using gradation that is created between the lightness of the yellow to the very darkness of the alizarin crimson and everything in between. So you have a gradation of going from yellow to orange to red-orange to cad light, which is kind of a red-orange, and then to red. Not a pure red, but definitely a deeper red. And also in this process, I will be adding more yellow to the background eventually. But all of this is done to create the form. I'm starting to create the form of the petals, the shape of the petals, using the value changes in the range of analogous colors from yellow to red, which is yellow, orange, and red. And in that way, I am working to still keep the form, but this time the background is the dark and the flower or the object is the lighter object, whereas in the previous painting that I started, I had the background lighter. So anyway, I'm doing this demo to kind of show you how that's done. I'm probably thinking about changing my mind about the middle. I make it yellow still of the front petal, Now I'm kind of changing when you cover the yellow over the purple, you create kind of a less intense purple. It's a way, and in the end I actually end up making kind of a green, but it also is less intense, so it gives the flower a better sense of being near the front. Eventually, I think I may even make the top area of the background even lighter. But as I said, we're just working from the large shape to the small shapes. And the fact that I'm taking a little time in between the large shapes to the small shapes gives me an opportunity to look at the whole painting and say, what do I need to change here? What do I need to improve? Right now I'm refining those green leaves a little bit more. Making the dark a little darker on the bottom and lighter on the top, but I still think I may end up making it lighter on the top. Just keeping in mind that I'm not really finishing the details. I'm doing the smaller shapes, but not the smallest shapes. Not the edges, not everything. But today's class, we're going to talk about the smaller shapes, which is what we're doing. And the real discipline we have to have is, I think I'm going to decide to do that. I decided to do that. The big thing I'm really working on is just the smaller shapes, not the details. It's a real battle to resist becoming too detailed at this stage. We're just working on the big shapes. But remember, this is primarily being made with the 3 colors I mentioned. Purple, actually 4 colors, purple, and then as the complement, and then yellow, and then opposite that, next to the yellow would be cad yellow, cad orange, light, and alizarin crimson with the yellow. I did use 2 yellows. So you can see how the painting is developed and is developing in the edges. I hope that you enjoy this and you find this helpful. I'm hoping that you subscribe so that you can hear the other videos that are coming out, and that you will be able to know when they arrive. Subscribe and like this, and maybe even write a comment. Great doing this for you, and looking forward to our next class or video. Bye. Have a great day. Judith.